Hey everyone, this is Sonar Wave with another review, and this is actually a special review because this particular transformer is impossible to actually get at stores here in Australia. I got this from a very good friend of mine in America. Optobotomus was kind enough to get this for me and send it to me. So without him I wouldn't actually have Leadfoot, and I certainly wouldn't have a complete set of the wreckers. I do have a Roadbuster with me. Another friend of mine has a top spin that they're going to send to me, so I don't have him right now, but I will have him in the coming weeks. But Leadfoot was the only one I couldn't get from Australia. I would have needed to import him, and Optobotomus was kind enough to do that for me. And a big Christmas miracle for those of us here in Australia. For those who might not know, the new Studio Series 86 figures have actually started showing up in Kmart and Toy World stores right across the country. That's right, Studio Series 86 is available here in Australia, but not the rest of the world. We're the only country who actually has them in stores right now. The only one that's missing is, of course, Grimlock, but you can pick up Scourge and Hot Rod. You can get Blur, Jazz, and Cup. So you can pretty much collect the entire wave, minus the leader, but I would imagine that we won't have to wait too long for Grimlock, or at least I hope we don't. The G1 reissue Soundwave and his cassettes have also started cropping up at Kmart's across the country. I have the whole set, and so yeah, it's been a big 48 hours for collectors in Australia, and for us to already have our hands on the Studio Series 86 figures when no other country does right now is a Christmas miracle in itself for Transformers fans here, and we are enjoying it, and we are lapping it up like you wouldn't believe, because this generally doesn't happen to us. We tend to get shortchanged a lot, so we may gloat a little about this, but, well, I think we're entitled to, but that's just me. They aren't here where I live, but a friend of mine did pick up Hot Rod and Scourge, and he sent them up to me, so I should have them early next week, and I'll have the reviews up and done by Christmas, as well as a couple of others, so that I can just not worry about that over the Christmas break. I won't do any more reviews until after the new year. By then I should have Blur, Jazz, and Cup as well, so keep your eyes peeled for those reviews, and good luck to everyone who will be going out and looking, and who have been looking for these since the news broke. If you haven't found them yet, don't worry, they will show up. According to Ozformers, there's plenty of stock in the Hasbro warehouse, so don't panic, don't fret, you will get them, and good luck. But in the meantime, back to our review. As I said, Leadfoot is one we didn't get here in Australia. He was a Target exclusive, but our Target, from what I understand, it's different to the American one. So we don't necessarily get the exclusives they do. Now, we did get the Cyberverse villain packs that were exclusives in Target in America, but we didn't get the Earthrise Villain 2 pack, which was Earthrise, Thundercracker, and Skywarp. We didn't get any of the other exclusives like Leadfoot here. And as I said, my friend and fellow YouTuber Optobotomus was kind enough to get his hands on one for me and send it to me, so definitely a big shout out to him for that. And I am very happy to have a full set of the Wreckers. I absolutely loved them in Dark of the Moon. That was my first introduction to the Wreckers as a unit. I never read the comics or anything, so I'd never heard of the Wreckers until that time. But obviously I've since then seen Transformers Prime, so I've been introduced to again another version of the Wrecker unit as well, so but let's have a look at what it comes with. This is his, it's like a little shoulder Gatling gun. I'm not sure how well that's going to come across, but you can plug it into either shoulder, whichever one appeals to you, really. It doesn't matter, it doesn't make you right or wrong. It comes with these as well. He comes with two of these, just like a brown plastic. He's got, you can see the, sorry, I'm having a brain freeze at the moment. The cartridges for the shells, he has two of them, and he comes with two sets of 3 missiles as well. These are an absolute pain in the butt to put on, really. But what I really like is, I love this. This is just adorable. This is Steeljaw, or at least the Bay version of Steeljaw. Obviously, if you're a fan of G1, Blaster did have a symbiote named Steeljaw who was a lion. So again, this is just a different iteration of a Steeljaw, but I think he's adorable. I just find him absolutely adorable and hilarious. But that's just me. But honestly, I don't know jack about NASCAR. I'm Australian. It's not something I'm familiar with at all. I liked the Wreckers. I just liked the characters. That's why I wanted the set. I know there were people out there who wanted it because they are NASCAR fans, or they're a fan of the Wreckers and Transformers and a NASCAR fan. Others like me and just a Transformers fan, and they wanted the car. So yeah, honestly, don't expect too much out of this review other than me rambling a lot. But I like the detail. You can see he's got brand on the wheels. He's got his Target logo. He's rather, well, let's just say robust. We'll go with robust, won't we? Transformer. But yeah, certainly, sorry about that. He's certainly not one to take lightly, despite his obvious age as well. He can certainly wreck with the best of them. But overall, I'm I'm absolutely happy with Leadfoot. I didn't have the ones that came out originally. I haven't got the third party ones, so I've got no attachment to any of the other versions of him that have come out of the other records. So for me, Studio Series has been really good with these guys. From what I did see of Topspin, I think they probably could have done a little better. And with Robuster, for me personally, the only issue I have is the fact that when you put him into alt mode, his front windscreen doesn't tab in. That's really the only gripe I have about that. And the fact the arms are an absolute pain in the ass to transform. But I digress. But yeah, no, I'm happy with him. I like the way he looks. I've got no real complaints about him, but I understand why other people might. They might have an attachment to one of the other versions that came out. They might feel it's better. Again, I haven't got any of those versions, so I've not got that attachment. So, but we are all entitled to what we feel. He's thankfully relatively easy to put back into alt mode. Much easier than Roadbuster. I didn't have an issue with Roadbuster until I actually got down to doing the arm section. And that was the biggest pain in the butt. So I did what any reviewer does, and I went to another one. I ended up watching, I went to Optobotomus. He, and his review of Roadbuster that he did a while back, can get this right. I got this right last night. It's because I'm on camera. It doesn't want to behave itself now because I'm on camera. Flipping typical, isn't it? Oops. Yeah, things tend to pop off if you aren't careful, but that's like everything. I've got to remember. Oh, there we go. Never mind. Ignore me. Might help if I was putting it in the right way, mightn't it? You can tell it's late at night when I'm doing this, can't you? Okay. I'm going to have to do this off screen, guys. Give me a minute. So I said, this didn't happen last night. I had no issue transforming him. And now because I'm doing it on screen, he doesn't want to really cooperate with me. So that's not really cricket, if you ask me, but... So how's everybody? Is everyone staying safe and taking care of yourselves? Got all your Christmas shopping done? I got mine done. I also know some of the stuff I'm getting for Christmas. I'm getting Earthrise Skylynx, Siege Jetfire, not Siege Jetfire, sorry, I already have him. Studio Series Jetfire. We missed the release of him last year here in Australia. So he was finally released this year, along with Skylynx. So I picked him up and he went away for Christmas. And I'm getting Earthrise Prime as well with his trailer. Almost had it then. So you can tell I'm doing this late at night, can't you? This will probably be my longest video and most of it's filled with me rambling. So maybe that'll teach me not to do things at night when it's late and I've had maybe 3 or 4 hours of sleep during the day. Probably not. Probably not. I'll repeat the exact same thing again. Because it's summer here in Australia. And I do not sleep all that well during the summertime. Gotcha. I have achieved victory. So, oh, yes, I'm ridiculous, I know, but I don't care. Generally, he's easy to transform. I did not have these issues last night. But because now I'm on the bloody camera, he doesn't want to cooperate with me. Oh, them's the breaks, huh? Them's the breaks. See, nothing wants to cooperate. Oh my god. I really shouldn't do these late at night, but I just can't help myself, obviously. This just is not my night, is it? It really isn't. I should really stop this and do it another day when I'm a little more with it. But I won't. I'll just keep going. Because I'm a masochist. And I can't help myself. Ah, we're winning! Yes, I'm ridiculous, I know. Now these lock in, they've actually got a tab right in there. I don't know how well you'll see it, but they lock in like that, and just make sure you get that all nice and squozen. Fold these up. And these will tab in behind these doors. So if you've dealt with, like, I think crosshairs, sideswipe, I think even jazz, then you'll be intimately familiar with how much of a pain in the ass doing this bit can be, because it's not always the easiest thing in the world to do. So make sure he's all nice and squozen, and then you can armour him up. These go up here. Oops. Is ridiculously hot right now. I think it is like 24 degrees Celsius. Yes, Celsius, because we don't use Fahrenheit in Australia. We use Celsius, so it may not seem that hot to you, I think, but it is hot to me. And the humidity in Queensland at the moment averages between about 60% and 80 to 90%, so gets absolutely ridiculous. But there you have him all armoured up and ready to go. I should have brought out Wheelie and Brains and stuck them on there as well. A friend of mine got leader class. Was he leader class? He was leader of Voyager class Shockwave. But he didn't want Wheelie and Brains, and I did, so he gave them to me instead, and I should have brought them out and sat them on the record, but I think I was robust that they were sitting in and then got left behind. But yeah, overall, I'm happy with Leadfoot and how he turned out. It's the one I probably have the least amount of issues with overall, and thank you for sticking with this video if you lasted this long. If not, I don't blame you, but I will catch you guys on the next one. Hopefully it won't be full of rambling, but until then, stay safe, stay kind, and I'll catch you guys later.